Alright, what's happening, man? Money Mazin back for the thousandth time, man. I keep going into retirement, man. Y'all need to beat my ass. Look, man, welcome back, all returning viewers and subscribers. Dearest apologies for being inactive, and welcome all newcomers. For those that know me, I go by Money Mazin. I'm a trader, investor, solopreneur. I've been a profitable trader here for about a few years. 6 years experience, just trading and things of that nature. So basically, I'm gonna be talking as if you know who I am, because this video is gonna be going towards my Discord as well. So welcome all newcomers, and I hope I can see you guys in my Discord and follow me on Twitter. I'm active on Discord and Twitter almost every day. Not too much activity on the weekends, of course. You know what's understood don't need to be explained, and we're basically just gonna be covering Bitcoin. I'm not sure how far off I'm gonna yap and ramble and fucking all that type of shit. So we will figure out the name of this video as we get to the end of it. So we're just gonna try to cover Bitcoin, the main things that's going on, and we're having a shift in the market. So it's I might as well give it to you guys. One thing that those around me respect about me is simply I keep it very honest and very real. I try not to sugarcoat. I try not to lead people on in certain categories, and we just gonna go from there. I'm gonna try to keep it as real as possible with you. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So pretty much Bitcoin, as you guys know, we were pumping into inauguration. I was telling people if we pump into it and it's really bullish with a lot of hope, it's probably not going to turn out well from there. And if there's a lot of disappointment going into it, not very much hype, then we'll probably perform well following. Well, we had the all-time high one day before inauguration. I'm pretty sure inauguration was the 21st. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's somewhere around there. And since then, we've been in, I think it's exactly 82 days. 82-day downtrend, man. So, I'm not going to lie to you, man. A lot of people have mental illness is what I'm starting to think, because they long the resistance and they short the support. So a lot of people, they'll see a move and say something's happening, but they're not putting any money behind it. So it's just... I try to only follow traders on like crypto Twitter, because a lot of the people that I used to follow, it's just hopium now, and I've noticed when prices aren't pumping, their engagement is zero, and that's a red flag to me. So a lot of times, during 2022, the bloodbath and the crash that we experienced with Bitcoin, that year probably has taught me more than any other time frame that I was trading in or in the markets. Like 2022, it's nothing has been that bad since. So it's pretty much been easy when you go ahead and get the hard stuff out of the way. Following, I had to change up, my trading style from this downtrend. So it was something I wasn't expecting. I didn't think it would get this low, to be fully honest with you. But I mean, my worst case scenario was a very obvious TA statement that you don't even know how to trade to understand this. But you consolidate for a while, you pump, and then you come back down to retest prior resistance and make it support. So I mean, it's not rocket science. I think just a lot of people are, it's hopium, it's fear, it's greed, it's impatience, it's I want it now type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not how it works, man. So patience gets rewarded. You have to know when to trade and when not to trade. Like today, I wanted to bust a trade open and hold something. My emotions told me one thing, but I ended up closing the trade at 10% because I was over leveraged. I had 55% of my trading margin on the one trade, and I didn't want to take that risk, so I just paid myself to 10% because I recently made 130% gains within 48 hours at the beginning of the week. We caught the Bitcoin long in the Discord, me and some of the bros. I posted the scalp entry, and it ended up not becoming a scalp. I ended up just holding it for about 14 to 16 hours. I woke up the next day, it was probably around like 40%. I take a drive, 2 hours later, it's at 100, I close. I mean, it went up 2 more thousand higher than what I had profited. What was it? It was 76,000 entry to 81,000. It ended up going to like 82 and some change, maybe 83. I don't know what it was exactly, but yeah, 83, 707, 83, 800, something like that. So, it would have made an extra 30%, but it's, you always got to pay yourself, because the one time you close early, it keeps going up, and then the one time you try to hold, it completely reverses, and then you round trip your gains. You guys know how it goes. So, originally on this TA, I had something similar. We're going to go over this real quick on the short term, and then we'll backtrack. We'll do this a little backwards. I had, the liquidity wick going down to the lows. We double tapped them lows, wiped them. So, initially I thought it would be another, double tap as far as candle closure at the range support. But, so following, you might not see a range here, but just look, man. We have support, range high, range low, and then mid-range is just the 0.5. I just have a fib up here. I forgot exactly why I even had it up here, but we don't need it anymore. But initially I had something like this. And then I was basically saying if this doesn't hold, I had another one here. with some question marks, basically saying possibility of hitting. Now, I placed some orders, but I was greedy with them. I wouldn't say greedy, I'd actually say a little bit safe, because sometimes you place the orders, order gets triggered, and then the stop loss gets triggered right after. So I said, you know what, possibility, if that thing is weak enough to go right through the box, I don't want anything to do with it anyway. If you look real close, we didn't even touch all-time high. We barely missed it. So now, I mean, I'm pretty sure the retest is in. Now we're reclaiming deviation, reclaim of support, and we are fighting our asses off on this downtrend, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So we have pretty much this here. So it's grinding, you know, and we came back down, wiped the lows, pretty much the bulls that were holding for so long with straight delusion. I'm a bull as well, but I'm not going to sit here and hold from these lows, watch us reject on downtrend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily candles in a row, and then once we start going down, I'm going to hold that position. I don't think so, man. I'm not going to rely on hopium at all. There's no such thing as hope or luck in trading at all. A lot of people like to say there is, but bro, let's be real. They just can't fucking trade, bro. That's exactly what it is. So, at the end of the day, man, a loss could be a good trade and a win could be a bad trade, because you might win a crazy trade, but can you do that every single week, every single day, every single month to keep your lights on? That's what really makes you a trader. I got a very good real life friend of mine, and he called it XAU, a gold bid, on a funded account, 50K funded account. He was up 20 G's. 20 G's, okay, and round tripped it down and paid himself $2,000. So it's like, was that an amazing trade? It was life changing if you realized the gains and took the profit. But at the end of the day, when you're letting things ride like that, it's not orchestrated targeting. It's more just letting it ride. You know what I'm saying? And now when you're in a downtrend like this, okay, and you have faith and conviction, if you're short and you're on your bear analysis and you're converting here, you can hold these shorts. You get what I'm saying? So it's different, because if we're in an uptrend, then you could just hold the longs, but you can't sit there and look at the short-term trend and go against the long-term trend. The long-term pretty much just holds it down. In the short-term, you just got to get in and out. You have to be very quick with it. So we ended up not going to my lows, so there, and then we have a reclaim here. Considering right now the time of recording this is 6:55 p.m. Eastern U.S. time on Thursday, April 10th. So we have the weekend coming up. Pretty much what the market's going to be closed in 24 hours pretty much, and so I want to see what happens over the weekend. So I'm probably going to be sitting on my hands over the weekend, but if I get exactly what I want here, because I just want to see the reaction here. I want to see if we reclaim and hold this, if we come back down, make another tap to the lows, maybe a little more manipulation, because I think that's all this stuff is. I don't want to keep jumping from subject to subject. I'll get into the tariff stuff in a minute, but just following here, I want to see exactly what goes on at these levels. So pretty much anything above 76,000 is bullish to me. We could come back down and tap the lows. One thing I love to do is flip the charts from time to time. That'll really give you some clarity. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Double bottom could be a double top if you flip it, and then, you know what I'm saying, higher low, lower high, etc., and then boom it up towards the top of the range. So there's no point in talking about what I like to call dumb hopium shit. So it's like, why are we looking at this stuff? You know what? This is why I had the fib on. I was trying to explain some things. There's no point in talking about how high Bitcoin's going to go until you break out of the 1 day, 4 hour range. So why are we talking about things that is not even relating to the present moment? I think that's a big problem too. Your weaknesses outside of trading are going to be your weaknesses inside of trading, whether it be fear, greed, delusion, or if you're just straight up a retard, bro. It is what it is. So you have to know exactly why you want to do things. And even me, as 6 years experience, I still look at things and one of the greatest strengths is asking myself, am I being biased here? Or would I still think this under different circumstances? Sometimes I walk away, I come back and I said, you know what, I am being biased. And maybe the trade, that biased thing that I wanted to do, ended up going in my favor. But you have to know why you win a trade and why you lose a trade, because then you're not going to get any better. So if you've played a sport before, especially in high school, doesn't matter what sport it is. So like, for instance, with me, on Monday, we would watch film of the people we were playing on Friday. You watch the person that you're going to be going up against. You want to know what they're doing, their regular moves, what to watch out for, their weaknesses, strength, etc. Then after you played a game on Friday, we come back and we look at the game that we just played. So we looked at what could we do better, our weaknesses, our strength. So it's back testing is just like watching film if you're an athlete. So I like to relate things. I mean, trading, you could relate it to so many things and help you understand it better. You have to put in that work. So here, I have no confirmation yet. So I'm not going to be doing anything pretty much. So we have a double bottom, we have an increase pump, we have a FVG gap fill, pretty much lining directly on the neckline, pretty much right above the initial pump start. So I want to see if we go back down a little lower, but I mean, if strength shows here, I'm going to long. And then we will just pretty much put the stop loss. I'll basically look and be like, where would I have put my stop loss 2 or 3 years ago? And I'll probably put my stop loss below that area. So a lot of times people say the market's hunting my stop loss. Maybe you're just putting your stop loss. I like to take a little accountability. I love blaming the government too, but at the end of the day, you have to sit there and take accountability. Don't sit there and, it's like if you're fighting and you say my hand hurts, that's why I lost. It doesn't matter, you lost. So, get healthy before you do something. So exactly here, it's like, hey, is your stop loss getting hunted, or are you just not trading correctly? You get what I'm saying? So there's a reason that some people can break through the matrix, as some like to call it, and there's some reasons some don't. So self-accountability, self-awareness, and pretty much coupled with proper execution is going to lead you to the proper result that you're looking for. So as you can see, we'll keep it on the 1 hour, and we have pretty much tap, following in, tap, lows, and now we're pretty much coming here, rejecting, and now we're making taps above the highs. So we had the deviation. If we can make this range support into proper support again and keep going, my next level of pretty much fake, I knew some type of deviation would come here, but instead of shorting, I paid myself on the long, and I stepped away from the charts. So like I said, I think bottom's in. I think we can make somewhat of a higher low. I'm not going to get in here because I want to be, me having experience. I don't recommend you all to do this, but I am going to try to time the local low time frame bottom. That way I can increase my leverage. I don't have to risk as much on my stop loss, and I'm using patience as my virtue. So you use your strengths and pretty much try to master your weaknesses, So following here, everything looks pretty much fine. Going into the tariff stuff, okay? So China started out the tariffs. What is it? U.S. did tariffs at 30-something%. Then it was pretty much 50-something, 80-something, 100 and something. I think right now, I don't want to lie to you guys, but I'm pretty sure the recent one is 125%, bro. What is it? Okay, U.S. tariffs to China now total 145% according to CNBC. Right now, I believe 3D chess is going on. So market manipulation down, basically like a Cold War move against China. You know what I'm saying? Everyone gets washed out, all the weekends. The smart money buys the dip, and then we make a whole lot of money and resume the uptrend. And you know what I'm saying? We're basically just, I'm going to be honest, bro. I think we're just, U.S. is just trying to drop its nuts right now. We're going through a hard time, but I can tell you this. Like I was saying, man, 2022... the Bitcoin bloodbath gave me more experience and taught me so much that a bull market could ever teach me. And I've noticed since 2022, the most I have actually learned in a 3-month segment was these last 90 days here, 82-day downtrend. Because I had to go against my usual routine. The routine had switched up, trend flipped, and basically I had to adapt to my environment. Me adapting to my environment simply just made me a better trader. So a lot of people were surviving, barely surviving here. Capitulation, some of the most... Like even the OGs I know were selling their spot positions to buy lower at the lows. Like it drives me crazy because they're shorting the support and they're longing the resistance. They're getting wiped, and then they're selling to buy lower, and then it goes up, they buy, then it goes down again, and it's just, bro, they're just getting slaughtered. Everybody I know, pretty much 90% of people are getting slaughtered, and it's all your emotional backing. So if you're going to buy something at the high and you're going to pray for lower prices, and then when the lower prices come, you sitting there acting like a hoe, I mean, what do you think's going to happen? I mean, that's at that point, you got to put the fries in the bag because this isn't your lane. So it's very stressful, and it's not for the average mind, but I will let you guys know that's just what's going to go on here. Fast forwarding, we'll look at the higher end trend. On the 1 day, I basically used the last 6-month consolidation as resistance. That is now the support, and prior all-time high is now the resistance. Pretty much the neckline on my other TA here, range support, is pretty much the mid-range on the higher time frame in. We have range high here, so we had the double top rejection, drag line, diagonal, initial dive below mid-range. Okay, we had the highs and then we had the lows. I'm not looking at all this. These are deviations, fake outs, whatever they want to be. I'm going off the initial pinpoints. Range high, range low. Change the color, so the mid-range is here is red. So even also, we could have some resistance before that. You get what I'm saying? So the mid-range could be tapped at deviation. Right here at 84,000, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 squeeze daily close candles, and that could also act as a support resistance KSR as well. Following the downtrend, 82 days. Now, I like to use the 0.25, 0.75 on my ranges and my trends. It helps me. But when I was not so experienced, they used to actually mess me up because I would look at a bounce as a reaction confirmation rather than waiting properly and then it go through and there really has no significance to it. So if you don't have experience, this sometimes can mislead you. So remember, technical analysis is great, but you can't ignore liquidity and you can't help what the news does, and you have to be aware. I always tell people this, my favorite saying, because I'm a technical analysis trader. If I have to identify as one thing, I like to feel the market, but if I had to have a conversation to tell someone, it's TA. Now, as a technical trader, I got a question, right? So, why would I try to build a house with just a hammer? It makes no sense at all. So, why am I going to use just a hammer when I have an entire tool belt? I have every piece of equipment, machinery, everything that I could use to make this house the best way I could build it, right? So, if I have all these tools, why am I just using a hammer? That's the same thing with trading. Why are you using just TA? Why are you using just settlement? Why are you using just news? Why just volume? Why just liquidity? I You need to understand, like, you have a strength, cool, use it. Look at your weaknesses. A lot of people, they try to jump the gun and think they're profitable, they bust a couple trades. You need to keep studying. I still have sessions, hours, every single week where I sit down and I'm learning new things. It's been 6 years and the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything. The people I follow, some of the best traders in my opinion, they've been trading for 15 plus years before crypto was even a thing, very long. And like they're still like you never learn everything, man. It's a constant journey and it's not for everybody. So, with that being said, I mean, price is looking good to me. We came back down and retested. I mean, in my opinion, long story short, avoiding the yapping, I think bottom is in. If bottom is not in, one more low to swipe for some reason, whether it be news or, obviously, I think Trump and the China leader is coming together to have negotiations and a meeting. If they could come to an agreement, things will be better. If not, I'm going to be honest, this tariff just keeps going up. I mean, at this point, it's going to be at 800% before we figure something out. So remember, prepare accordingly, and I'm telling you, follow your bias, but have a plan to pretty much rejuvenate and, you know what I'm saying, redirect yourself. So prepare, like, find your bias, figure out where you want to go from there, and have a backup plan in case you go against your bias. Okay, so you need to have a plan for every single possible move. It's kind of like playing chess. You have to know 3 moves ahead from your one move, 10 moves ahead from your one move. You need to have every single possibility and probability at play, so anytime one of these moves gets hit, in your eyes it's a confirmation to trigger or even a reject. You get what I'm saying? So from here, I'm gonna watch this blue line. Once we have some substantial things going on, I'm gonna be careful over the weekend. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking to long around here. I am looking to long. So don't try to time the bottom unless you have extreme experience and you know what you're doing. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure lows are in. We have a mid range. We have a key SR on the blue line for support. Low time frame. Once we flip this blue little bar here of mine, the special Money Mazin bar, it's pretty much game on. And then we have the downtrend. Then we have the red line, which is mid-trend. And, from there, bro, we are golden, dog. And then we have the high time frame key mid-range. You know what I'm saying? And from there, we're golden, dog. We're golden. All right, let's see if there's some other things I could show you. What do I have whipped up right now? This will be a nice look. So, if we go somewhere to my price targets, I mean, I think we could do 100% gain 150. Yeah. So, I mean, I just can't see this. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The only time I would worry is if we break through prior high. If this is not a retest. If it's not a retest, probably gonna go down, form another shoulder consolidation, figure something out before going back up. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Now we have had a red first quarter. Okay, 82-day downtrend. Everything was red. We had some of the craziest dives in a very long time since 2008, 2011, from the forex, from the stocks to the crypto. Um, and I just can't, in my mind, fathom that we're going to have a red Q2. I'm pretty sure this is going to be green, but what do I know? You know what I'm saying? So please, no financial advice. Let's see what else we got over here. Don't look at none of this shit. Don't look at none of this. I don't know when I hit this 84, 86. Yeah, those were the good old days. Alrighty. Guess we could check out some Total One. All right. So double blue lines was my demand zone here. Hold looking to hold this trend. If we go below this, not looking too good. But I think we're honestly just gonna retest around these levels and head back up, dog. That's what I'm starting to think. We have Bitcoin dominance. The community members and the Hopium dudes were calling for a dive the entire time, and I think honestly, out of anything I've ever predicted in crypto, my highest accuracy rate has been the last 2 years following Bitcoin dominance. Like it's been extremely easy for me, and I believe that a lot of people calling for the dive, I don't think they are unintelligent people. Surprisingly, I really think that it was just hopium. It's bias. It's emotion. It's like and this is another thing, man. Everyone thought the alts would go crazy and outperform, and what ended up what ended up outperforming? It was Bitcoin and meme coins. So you have the OGs getting bread, and you have the degenerates getting bread, and then all these. And mind you, bro, I got like damn near like 40 G's in just ISO coins. And I mean, I'm over here feeling it too, but I'm not complaining. I just knew what it was. That's why diversification is key. When you take two altcoins, man, maybe one's decentralized AI, maybe one's ISO, maybe, whatever it may be, right? When you take your entire life savings and you, especially like, you're playing in the six-figure mode and you put them in two coins like that are in the same category, how can one balance out the other? I just would never do that in my life. Props to those that want to take that risk, but man, I ain't gonna lie, they round trip the gains because what did it pump? Like if you got an algo, like I'm a big algo holder, right? I like algo. I bought it 10, 11 cents, and I bought it 18 cents, and I bought it a quarter. It ended up going to like what 40 to 60 cents. I don't remember exactly what it was. Well, I'm on TradingView, bro. We're not gonna be. We're gonna go look at this shit. Where's it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? What was it? Okay. All right. So 10, 11 cents. Bought some more. Okay. And we ended up going to. Okay, yeah, I was right. 60 cent. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how many people did not sell? Like I'm gonna be honest, bro. I didn't sell anything. I didn't sell none of my algo doing this right here. So hopefully we make a higher low and we continue. But that's the thing. If I was only in algo or only in ISO coins, my head would have told me to sell something. This is just an example. This isn't an algo TA. So, but that's just what it is. My biggest bag is Bitcoin. My second biggest bag is Litecoin. This is just for cryptocurrency. And then following Bitcoin and Litecoin, I have ISO coins, Ethereum, and then I got a bunch of other shit. I'm not even gonna name it because it's just like play money. It's like pennies on a dollar. Either like hundreds here, a couple G's here, and nothing really crazy. So, but following here, man, I got good hopes about Bitcoin. Please understand, I'm recording this on a Thursday evening, and we have the weekend coming up. Could have a weekend pump. Just keep in mind. But the weekly, it's like the weekly looks like we're at the head point of the head and shoulders. You get what I'm saying? But then when you look at it at another time frame, it's like you have low with the wick, bottom, lower low, and then we'll probably come up here, reject one more time, probably higher low in my demand box, head up, and after we do some squiggly diggly here, we just go up, and then hopefully we can get to my price prediction of at least 130, 150,000 Bitcoin. Now I got some 200k plus Bitcoin prediction. Looks very good on the high time frame, but am I 100% certain that we'll see that by the end of this year? No, I'm not. But we're big bulls, so it is what it is. I ain't gonna lie to you. So from there, man, if you guys want to see some more content, whether it be Ethereum, altcoins, I used to do a lot of QNT content, quant, algo, ISO coins, pretty much, ETH. ETH pretty much been on its ass, but I'm pretty sure we're going to come out of that. But if you guys want to see any specific type of content or have any questions or want me to cover a certain coin, low time frame, high time frame levels, excuse me, whatever y'all want, man, just comment below, because I'm not going to be on some professional shit up here. I'm going to just give it to you however you want it, and we'll go from there. So, man, appreciate y'all tapping in. Go ahead and slide to the Discord and the Twitter. I'll be up here active every day. If you ever have any questions, holler at me, man. I'm not on that, weirdo stuff. I try to respond to every single person. So with that being said, man, y'all be good. Be easy. Let's get this money and have a good one.